So hello everyone and welcome to our lecture 10 or the last lecture of Python tutorial series. In this lecture we are going to learn about some advanced Python functions or advanced Python and the new functions or something that have been added to Python. So let's move into our lecture 10. So now our first advanced function is Walrus function, as you can see. So I'll tell you how to use this Walrus operator. So there is an operator called Walrus operator, which was introduced in Python 3.8 onwards. What will it do? It will do two things for us at the same time. So the first thing that it can do is you can use your expression, any expression in it, and at the same time, the second thing that it does is you can assign it to a variable also. Let me show you how to do it. First, we will come here in our VS Code, then I will open folder 9, which I have to go here, folder 10, sorry, so folder 10 here, and then we'll continue with our advanced Python. So now let us make a function operator file walrus.py. So how to use it? I can do two things in one statement. Now I don't need to write n is equals to then our some functions or some of expression that we want to suppose write. So I will write it in one line only. So what it basically does is it is a convenience operator which can do two things in one line of code. So now if I want to just evaluate this n as suppose true, then it will get assigned to the value of or the length of that variable which you want to put it in also. So that is how you can do two things here using Walrus operator. As you can see here in this handbook also, the Walrus operator this introduced in Python 3.8 it allows you to assign values to variables as a part of expression. Now if I just copy this, if I show you it like this, Control C I will do and then I will put it here like this. You can see here n is here taking the expression also length of this list which is greater than 3 also. So there are two expression here, as you can see we are also want the length and also we want to check whether this is greater than 3 or not. So if I will run this, as you can see this is too long, 5 elements expected 3, just like that you can do it with the Walrus operator. Now let's move ahead to types of definition in Python. So type hints are added. So firstly, let's understand what type definition is here. So that is something that you should learn in Python and should use because that makes your work very easy. Suppose I make a variable n and that variable is, now I will just clear it out, then I will go here. Suppose I make a variable n which contains 5 as a value. Now suppose I write n dot is. So now I want to say that suppose this is an integer. So now I want all the methods of integer. Suppose this if I will click it here. So I will get all the methods of integer as well here. So what I can do here is I can explicitly tell Python that my n variable here is an integer. So if I write here n dot and dot, so I'll get everything here available as integer or anything, any other functions also. That means you are getting the methods here. Now suppose if I write it like this, so you'll ask, was this colon necessary here? So I will say that no, it is not that much necessary because I wanted to mark n as a string here, and I also want to make n as an integer because I marked n as a string there when I was using it. Now I want to make n as an integer. Now how I can do them with function also. Suppose I take a some function here as like this def sum, which will provide me what? Which will provide me uh, int value, the values of int, and I want to return a plus b. I can also write it like this, int here, then colon and int here. And this will what tell us that our this a and b should be int here, and so that is how it will return our int value only, and it will take our int value also. So okay, that we are done with it. So now suppose I will write some And see here, it is telling me that to give two what parameters here, which will be here in function, it will be there in as argument. Now I want to give two values here, which should be int only, because there are these a and b will take int values only, not any other data type values. So suppose if I write 3 here and I run this, so here is one argument missing here. If I will run this, suppose if what happened with this is, suppose you are coding or a programmer is coding or you are using someone else's code, or if someone else is using your code also, so it will be easy for that person to identify which function is returning what here, or even the types of values passed in a function. So this is a necessary feature to tell our user that what our function also can want to store values, or what values should be passed here and there. Not every value can be passed here and there. Suppose I am very specific about some data type here, so I will write it like this also. So now we will talk about advanced type hints here. Now Python's typing module provide more advanced type hints such as list, tuple, dict, union. So what does it mean here is, I will create another file here. Suppose advanced typing like this.py. I'll make this then. So we get them from advanced typing modules. What we can do here is we can import it. So from typing import suppose list and union I am importing here. So after writing it, what you can say is you are importing in the list of integers, or here, as you can see here in example, you can import tuple, dictionary, and union also. So these are some ways to import them. Now what's a union here? So union could be anything, a string or a integer also. So if you want an element to hold one or two types of values, data types there, so you can use union also here. So as you can see here, there are different types of these type hints that are being used. You can use type tuple, you can use dictionary, you can use union also. Now moving ahead, we have match cases here. A match case is what? It was introduced Python 3.10 onwards, and introduced a match statement which is similar to switch statement. A switch statement is what? It is basically the match case only, but in C language. Now we'll talk about match case here only because we are doing it in Python. In Python there is no switch case, but in C language we use it as switch case. So both are the same only. How you can use them found in other programming language, or in JavaScript also there is a switch case. So as you can see here, suppose I will show you like this. I will copy this code here, then I will make another file name matchcase.py, and I will paste it here. Now let's format this. As you can see, it is not formatted here. So I have made changes here. I have completed this code, made proper indentation here. Now if you can see here, the function is been called here. Suppose we are calling this function, copy this, and then we need to call it. So we'll paste it here. Suppose I am calling here 200, so it will show me okay, because here case, because the status is matching from 200, so at 200 it has to return okay. Now if I suppose I write, if it's suppose if I write it here 500, it will give me internal server error, as you can see. Now if I write uh, something which is not present here, something which is not present in all the cases. Now suppose 768, it should give me unknown. As you can see, unknown is being given printed here. So that is how you can use match cases. So another update in our Python is you can merge two dictionaries as well. You can update two dictionaries and then eventually will merge them. We can also use several context managers in a single, just like we saw using with open function. We can open a file, but here you can use it with it, and by using it you can open multiple files. Let's move ahead to some other topics. And as you can see here, dictionary merge and update operators. As you can see here, there are two dictionaries like this, and the merge dictionary is like this. You have to put this symbol here, and then print the merge dictionaries, and then which function is used here to open this file, and then you can open another file as F1 and F2, and then you can get those merged dictionaries here. Let's talk about exception handling. Now, suppose I exception handling dot py. Just like this. Now suppose I write here. Suppose I'm taking an input from the user and input. Suppose enter a number here. So now if I try to print a here, so it will ask me the value here and then it will print the value. Now what I want, suppose I want to give or provide it in a string. User can do anything, right? Suppose user provided anything. Suppose user provided anything. User provided a string. Suppose what I'm trying to say here is when I will give it value as suppose 6. This is it is an integer, so here integer value will be printed, but user can do anything. User has the power, user can do anything else. Suppose user type uh, and suppose user type like name here. So here as you can see the value here value error will be printed here and value print with base 10. So the user give it a string data type here. Now here this it shows as a value error. Now I don't want to show this error here. I don't want to show this error here whenever our user types something wrong. So for that, what will I do is, suppose I wanted to show something else here in place of value error. Now suppose if the what I want to say here is I want that if the program crashes, it doesn't show that the program is crashed. Instead, it sees the error here and tells the user that what the error here is, and I don't want the error here. Suppose I wanted it to be like, hey, in the place of value error, I wanted it to show, hey, hey, please enter a valid number. Suppose here it is writing like invalid literal in place of value error. So I wanted to write here, hey, print a valid number here. If not, so it's a programmer's fault. So to fix that, I will do what? I will go here and I will write try. Now try here is what I will talk about here. Now what I will write is I will write except exception as e and print e. This is what I will write. Now this right here, this is not an error. We are explicitly printing our error here. This means that program didn't crash at all. It will not crash at all. If your program actually gets crashed, so what will it do is, so nothing will work after that. But suppose I want also here too. I also want to print here. Thank you. For better understanding here, I have printed here. Thank you. Suppose if I again run this and I will go here, then suppose I typed here again like this and it says invalid input base 10. Thank you. And if I use here correct input also, so what will it do is was 45. So here also thank you is being printed. That means our program didn't get crashed here. It's just we are providing it another our explicitly error also. So as you can see here, if you have noticed that if I was writing now wrong input here, suppose like this, so it was not giving me value error, but it was directly printing invalid literal for int for D. Now, thank you was also printing. So that is how you will use this type of things in our program. If the program runs, good, and if it doesn't, it will go inside except block. So try will only do this, and if it doesn't run, it will go under this except block here, and it will be ignored. So we can show here particular type of error also. Suppose I want here the value error only, so I will write except suppose value error here just like this as we print print a and then print v just like this, and I will suppose I will comment this out. Use vertical slash here suppose like this, and I will comment them out here like this. Now if I will run this here, So what will happen is, uh, suppose I give here value error like this. So as you can see here, it is also printing it. Then it is printing what, the error here, value error here, and value literal end for this. That is how you can do this. Now we can raise exception in our program also. So suppose if I raise raising exception dot py, just like this. So if I will I want to raise exception here, suppose I give a is equal to int input, enter number 1, just like this. And now I also want the same thing here as well. So if I want to give suppose two numbers here, just like this. Now I want to print the division of number a and b is a divided by b, just like this. Suppose it will be divided, but if I divide, I want to divide it, suppose by 0 here, but firstly I will show you how to uh, divide by number. Suppose I write 4 and then 8, so it will provide me 0.8 here as the answer here. But now if suppose I want to uh, do what here is, I want to suppose I don't want to the number to be divided by 0 here, because in Python, already in Python you cannot divide any number by 0. So I'll use 0 division error here, and for that to happen, what I need to give here is, if b equals to 0, so print, or not print, raise uh, 0. As you can see here, it has already provided me the error here which I wanted, and uh, else print this like this. Now if I will again run my program here, as you can see, now if I want to suppose divide 23 by 0, so as you can see, 0 division error is printed here. Now this is not a as I said, this is not a crash. The program is not crashed here, but we have raised our 0 division here, as you can see. Now you will ask that why we are raising exceptions in our program here. So now suppose you are making a program which will be used by several people. So you would not want that someone who uses your program makes a mistake. You don't want someone to make a mistake in your program. So at that time, you will stop his program whenever he makes a mistake. Crash his program then and there only. So for that to happen, you will raise your program with an error. But a little ago, we talked that a program should not be crashed only. So the answer to that is, sometimes a program needs to be crashed. We want it to crash. Why? Because if your own developer is making those programs, so he will know that what mistakes are there and what mistakes he need to work upon and make them correct or fix them basically. That's why here when b is equals to 0, this is a critical error. So that is why we erased our exception here. I hope that is very clear to you all. Now let's move ahead and we'll talk about try with else clause. Now this is another very beautiful thing here. I will write try and else dot py, just like this. I've created another file here to explain try with else. Now suppose I have a block of try here. Suppose I would try, then a is equals to int input, then enter a number, just like this. And suppose I want to print that number also a, and then I am using exception as e print e, just like this. Now I will use else here, which will print I am inside else, just like this. Now suppose I give it a number here. I will run this program in terminal, and suppose Suppose I give it a number 45. So here, as you can see, it ignores the except block if try block is correct, and then it moves to else block here. Now if error appears here, it will not go inside our else block like we did in else also. Now suppose if I run this program again, so what will happen here is, suppose if I provide any number here, any integer, string here, so what will happen is it will go inside except only and not in else here. So else is basically used to print what? Print anything here. Suppose I want to do it in error also, so I want to print it, so just like that you can do it. Now talking about try it finally. Now this is important here. Now I will do what? I will copy the same code here and I will make a file try finally.py. So here I will paste it here, and then I will in place of that I will use finally, and then print hey I am inside of finally, just like this. So finally, basically what some everyone says, it run whether the code is right or wrong. So let's see here if it runs whether our code whether our input is right or wrong here. Suppose I give Python and then try just like this. So I will give suppose 12 here. So it will give 12. It is running also here, as you can see. Finally is running here also. Hey, I am inside finally. So this is what we did in else also. Now if I do the same thing here, but suppose I give it anything and then I will print. So here, as you can see, here here our error is raising, and also here, and finally inside is also printing here, which was not in the case with try else. But now here in try finally, we are seeing that it is working when the input was wrong, and it is working when the input is right also. How that is possible? So now by watching this, you might have a doubt, and you might say that if it is running in uh, wrong input and right input also, so why not we remove this finally here and just print it like this also? You can print it like this, right? Like what's the matter when finally is working in both the cases? So what's the use is basically, so basically we use it in our functions. So now if you in function, if you will run it and try, it will not work. So suppose here I make a function which will be def suppose main. This is our function will be there. Now just like this, and then I will call, and I will do what I will do here. I'll write finally here, and then tab it, and then I will do what I will call the function main, just like this. So I firstly need to indent them all, just like this. And now if I suppose I will run this code here, and now if I will try to give it, suppose try finally just like this, and then I will enter a number 45. So now it is running, but here if I will try finally, now if I will give this, so here as you can see here function also it is running. So what basically finally means here that finally runs and runs only whether the code is right or whether the input is wrong here. So suppose if the value in that function is wrong and try and except block is wrong, and it will ignore it. So what will happen is it will not run, but finally will override it, and it will be like it will run no matter what the condition is. So that is how finally is used with try. Now we are going to talk about if name and main function in Python. Let's read this. Underscore underscore name underscore underscore evaluates to the name of the module in Python from where the program is ran. If the module is being run directly from a command line, then underscore underscore name underscore underscore is set to string underscore main underscore underscore. Thus, this behavior is used to check whether the module is run directly or imported from another file. So let's see this in our VS Code. Firstly, I will make a file module.py and I will make another file here as main.py, just like this. So in main.py, I will suppose I will write a function here, my func, which will contain suppose it will contain print hello world only, hello world, just like this. And now in our module .py, I will now this is become a module, so I will export this module here, this whole module here to here. So suppose module from module import my func, just like this, and I don't need to insert parenthesis. So what will happen here is, so running this we will not have anything as you can see here, but now because now I have told it here that it should import the my function from this module.py here, from the module only, and I have not provided it anymore. But now if I do it just like this and I call this function uh, here only, I have written it wrong, like this. Now if I will run this, as you can see, it is not opening. The import error is there, cannot import functions from module, like this. So what will we do here is, suppose if I write it here only, what I will do is I will call, see, as you can see here, I will call here my function, and then I will do it. So here also it is showing me the same thing, but now here if I print, suppose print uh underscore underscore name underscore underscore, so what will it do is it will only provide the main. Now what is this main here? That means I ran the module code from modules finally. So here if I ran this uh, main here, it shows me main here because I am running that code in same file only. So if I provide this in my module, in my module.py file, so if I provide this, this will automatically be finding my module here and then will print it like that. Suppose I will run this file here in terminal and I will write Python and that here. That is again showing me the main here. And here also if I run this, here it is showing me main. Because I am not doing anything, but I am uh, only running the code here in my file only, main file only. That is why it is showing me main underscore underscore main underscore underscore. Suppose if I write, if let's write here, what I will do is I will write here if underscore underscore name underscore underscore is equals to what? Underscore underscore main underscore underscore. So what will happen here is, I suppose I have not given here two underscores, and here I think it's three. Yes. So that is how if I do this to keep it in this like this. So what will happen here is, now if I will do this, we are directly printing this code just like this, and I will also print name here just like this. So what will it give us is, we are directly running this code here in this file only, and which is main file here. This is what is doing this whole thing in my module file only, nothing else. So in main nothing will happen, but in, because name is here not main by Python. Suppose underscore name underscore is not main underscore main underscore here by Python, because underscore main underscore is contains a function which is used by module here. From that file it's importing its underscore name underscore. So now we do not want this to run in our main file, and we want this to run in our module file only. So what we will do is we will write underscore name is underscore is equals to equals to underscore underscore main underscore underscore in our module file. I hope that makes sense. We will use here study about global keyword. Global keyword is used to modify variable outside the current scope. Let us understand what is global here. Global.py. So let's understand what's global keyword is actually about. Suppose if you make a function here in Python def, suppose I'm naming this function as fun only, and suppose I'm giving providing it a value of 3, and then I want to print a here which is 3. So as simple as it, we know that the value which will get printed here is 3 only. But now suppose here I give it a value print no, firstly I will give it a value, suppose a only, I will give value 89, and then I want to print a, and then I will run my function also. I will run this. What will I get is I will firstly get 89 here and then 3 here. So what is happening here is because it was outside of the function and the function was called after that print statement here. That is why 89 is getting printed first and 3 is getting printed afterwards, because function is called after that normal printing. So that is why 89 is getting first and 3 is getting after that. But suppose if I write our a here as I will take it above here. Now this is defined as global variable here, and suppose here 3 is written like this here, that a is equals to 3. Now here 3 is inside our function only, so it will be called as local variable here, and a here above our function outside our function will be called as global variable. Now 3 here can be used only inside our function only, and 89 can be used inside and outside any function also. What do I mean by that is, suppose you are a person who has name, suppose Satvik. So Satvik, so suppose there is a person with who is a minister or some famous person who is also named as Satvik. So what will happen is when in your home you will be called Satvik. So everybody will know that who which Satvik we are talking about. So you are here a local variable because in your area, in your locality, or in your home only you are known as Satvik. But the famous person, suppose he's the actor Satvik is, and is a very famous actor. So, the actor Satvik is very famous across the world. So, it will be a global variable. Whenever someone will call Satvik, or whenever someone will say that Satvik is a very good person, or this is that, so that Satvik will be referred here, not the Satvik which is at his home. That Satvik will be local variable. The people of his home, of his area will know him only, but the actor Satvik will be known across the globe. So, actor Satvik can be used outside those houses also, so to call him, and inside those also, if someone will talk that Satvik is an actor also, and Satvik is in our home also, so Satvik the actor will be used in home also. But for that Satvik which is there in home only and in his area only, so that Satvik will be local variable. That is the difference between local and global variable here. But now I want to suppose here if I will print now I will call this function here, and I'm printing the value a here. As you can see here, this function is getting here, but here also the 3 is printing. Now if I remove this a here, suppose just like this, and I want to print a. So here as you can see 89 and 89 are getting printed here. But when it was outside, the 3 was different and 89 was different. But if I only want a here, I have assigned a as a global variable 89, and here I only want to print a. I have not given any value inside our function. That will take 89 because it is a global variable. The Satvik actor is used here, and here the Satvik in his home was used here, which was 3. Now, but if I want to make my 3 here, 3 only, the global variable, what I will do is I will define it global A, and then I will write here A is equals to 3. So then if I will print run it, I will get 3 and 3 as global variable only, because now here 3 is global variable, so that inside the function and outside the function, the 3 as a global variable is getting printed. So that is what global variable is. Here in function also it prints the global variable, and outside also 3 is getting as global variable. Now let's move ahead to another function here. Enumerate function in Python. The enumerate function adds counter to the iterable and returns it. So what it can do here is, suppose I will write enumerate dot py here, and now suppose I have a list of integers just like this here. L is equals to suppose 133, then 513, and then 53, and then 55, just like this. So what will I do here is, now for item in L, what I will do is, I want to print the index and also the item here. So what will I do is, I will do print f string, index is, and I will type here item. Now for that also I have to provide it index will be 0 here, index is equals to 0, and to keep on increasing, keep on iterating, I have to give here index plus is equals to 1 also. Now if I will run this, so I have written wrong here, item is this is wrong here, item. Now if I will run this, you can see index number 1 is 133, 2 is 513, 3 is 53, and 4 is 55. Now I want to make it more easier, so that I can do by using enumerate function here. How to use it? You can write here for index comma list, or not list here, other item in enumerate uh, and colon, and now you will give the same, the index number uh, index is item, just like this. And in 2 lines, I have given here the spelling wrong, so type object is not iterable. I have written it wrong here because I have not provided the list. Now it should give me same. Now as you can see, index number 0 is 123, index number 1 is this and this and this. As you can see here, the same code is running here also. That is how you can use enumerate function to make your code iterative code here more easily in 2 lines. So let's move ahead and we will talk about list comprehension. List comprehension is an elegant way to create list based on existing list. This is an elegant way, just like we did in enumerate, we will do it here also in some line of codes. Let's write list comprehensions and dot view, just like this. Now I will do what? Because now I will create my list is equals to 1 9 4 5 6, just like this. I have created a list here. Now I want the square of the list. Every element in my list should be a square of itself. So for that I will provide it an empty list first. Squared list is equals to, this is an empty list here. Now I will do what? For item in my list, squared list dot append item into item. So this is the basic way to create a string, a list here with a squared elements inside the list. And then I would have done what? I would have printed the squared list. So provided here the spelling here is listsat. What is listsat here? To give it squared list. Now if I will run this, as you can see here, 181, 16, 9 square is 81, 4 square is 60, 16, 5 square is 25, 6 is 36. Now if I want to make it in 2 lines, just like we did in enumerate here, what I will do is, I will just erase all or not this, I will just erase all of this. I will go inside this, empty list, and what I will type here is into I for, so what I'm going to type here is I into I for I in L, or not L, my list, just like this, and then print squared list. So what it will give me, it will give me the same output, but just I have written it in one line. Not I have not used, I have used for loop here, but here I have written it in one line only. So this is how list comprehension work here. And yeah, that's just how elegant way of writing list original list here is. Since we want to become efficient in this fast moving world, so we have to learn these things, advanced Python, so that we can do our work fastly and efficiently also. Now let's move ahead to some another functions here. Now we are moving into more of our theory things, because now here virtual environments come here. This is part 2 of our advanced Python, which will be included in this lecture only. We are not going to make our virtual environment here because that is not our need to make. So let's talk about virtual environment in Python. So what is a virtual environment here? So suppose in the very first of very most lectures, I have talked about pip install and to install the packages. So that was the thing to install the packages. Now suppose I want to install packages for pandas here, but every package will contain its different version. So if you will use old version or with the new version, so it will give you a warning that the versions are conflicting with each other. Suppose the current panda is 2.2.2 pandas, but if you want to use panda 1.1, so you have to give it in your terminal that I want pip install 1.9 version of pandas. But in that case, your current one or 2.2.2 will get deleted. But now if you want to use that same old version also, so you can create a virtual environment here. Now we are not going to create virtual environment here. We are just moving ahead, and I will talk you through the theory of it and what's the procedure and why we do it. So that is how just we are going to do it here, not creating a virtual environment, but we are talking about it. So virtual environment is basically what will it contain? It will contain all the versions, all the packages of that pandas, all the version of that particular package. Suppose the panda package, so it will contain all the version of that panda package, and it will have nothing to do with the main Python window there. Now to know what are the versions of the packages available in your system, you would have to use a pip freeze there to know what in the terminal to know what the packages are installed in your system, and along with their versions also they will get printed there. I will not do it, but I can show you here how it will look like. So let's get here, and I will create a new file here, virtual environment.py. That is how. And if you will write it, if you use pip freeze in your terminal, so it will show it like this. So just like this, when you will use pip freeze, it will show your packages with their version also like this. Now I want all my important packages and their versions also in my separate list here. So what I will create is I will create a txt file here, which will be done by using like in terminal. If you will write it like this, pip freeze and then this symbol, then you will suppose you will uh, requirements.txt, you will create this and your file will be created here. Now to install them, after that you will have to just write pip install -r, and that is how you will all these what I can say packages here will get installed in requirements.txt. That is how you can use virtual environment there. Talking about some functions here also. So I will go here in our handbook. As you can see here, install this was given here. You can see. Now we will be talking about some functions which we can use in virtual environment and also in our normal codes as well. So what are those functions here? As you can see, first function is our lambda function. So suppose I want to make a square of my any number n. First of all, I will get here, and then I will make. Let's just do it here only. I will remove this, and I will rename it to uh, lambda.py, just like this. And now I want to create a square of the number n here. So what will I do here is, suppose I will create def square function and provide data argument n, and then I will do return n into n, and then I will print square of suppose 5 here, just like this. When I will run this, I will get 25 as my answer. Suppose I wanted to get it for 3, so I would get 9 as my answer. Now what I will do is I wanted to make it in a variable now. So to keep them in a variable and still make a function here, what will we do here is we will firstly, let me just make it here, and then I will do what I will use multi-cursor here and comment them out first. Now I will make a lambda function here. How? Let's see. Now I will do it in one line only. Lambda x is equals to x into x. Now what will happen here is and now I have to provide, firstly I have to provide it in lambda function in a variable also, just like this. Now if I will do this, here the spelling is wrong, just like this. Now if I will print this, so it will give the 3 was there, so 9 will get printed. Now again, if I will give it 5 here or maybe 6 here, it will always give me the square of those numbers here. Lambda is a function which creates a function in a form of expression in one line only. Now let's move ahead to our next function, which is join method. A join method does what? Creates string from an iterable object. Now if I make another file here, like join.py. Now what will I do here is, now suppose I make firstly let's go to join here, and then let's suppose I make a string, or not string here, let's just make a list here. Then it will contain woman, and just like this I have created string of three list of 3 strings here. Now I want dash in between all these strings in my list. So what will I do is I will write it in a variable which will be, and now I will use join dot suppose dash I want to give here, so this like this, or this is not the right way. I have to not join dot but this then join, like the join in A. So and now I will print final just like this. So when I will run this, I will get just like this, as you can see here, dash is in between everyone. Now I want to, suppose I want to give double colon here. If I will run this, I will get double colon also. That is how you can do joining in strings in list. Now let's move ahead, and we have format method here. Now format method is a very old method of what we do with our f strings here. So if you want, you can find the old codes and do formatting. Let's understand format method here. This was used way before. Now we have f strings, so we don't use formatting here. But let's just copy whatever it is here written here only. Let's copy this and I will paste it here. So let's say, so here in the so I have to provide it here in variable also. A is equals to this, and then print A just like this. Now here, as you can see, there are 2 curly brackets given here, just like we did in f strings. So this is the position, default position like this. When you will write first thing here, so it will get it here, and the second thing will be getting printed here. So that is how the default indices of this is like this, 0 and 1. Now if I want this to come in first place, this to come in first place, and this to come in our last place, firstly I will run this, and as you can see, I am getting here I is a good boy. Now if I want to suppose change the position say, so I will write index 1 here and here 0. So what will happen is, you can see here this is getting changed to this. Boy has come first and the Harry is getting printed after good. So that is how you can do formatting. Let's move ahead to map filter and reduce. Map applies function to all the items in input list. Let's understand what is this here. Now making another file here, map filter reduce. Double R in there, so I have to remove reduce dot py. Just like this, I have created another file here. Now let's understand firstly what mapping. Just like this. Now let's copy our lambda function here. I want to make a square here. Now let's not copy it. We'll do it by ourselves. Map it reduce here. So let's take a list here of suppose simple numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like this. And then I want to suppose create a square of them. So I'm using lambda function here. Lambda x is x into x, just like this. So now let's do mapping here or use map function. What map function will do here is, suppose I want square list here. So I will use map function. Then I will provide it the whatever I want to do. So I will provide it firstly here the variable and then the list. So what will it do is print square list. If I print this, I'm getting my answer like this. So for that I have to provide it here list also. List just like this and just like this. Now if I will print this, you can see here I am getting the square of all the numbers. So it is converted into our square list here. Now again for filtering, what I will do is, suppose let's just write here filter first, and then what I will do here is, suppose I want to create an even function to find out the even numbers. So create a function here even with argument n, and if n not equals to, if n is divided by 2, which will become 0, so return true or return false. So we can give else or not else here. We have to just get true here, otherwise it will become false, just like that. Now I want only even numbers here, not any other number. So what will I do here is, I will create another variable here, only even, and for that I will use filter. So it will filter out every number here which is even from this list. So now print, here also I have to provide list only even, just like this. Now as you can see here, it is taking it from the list only 2 and 4. So that is how you can do it. Now let's move ahead to map filter and let's do reduce here. Just like this. So what we are going to do in reduce here only. So to get reduce, we have to import it from func tools. So let's use import from func tools import reduce, just like this. And now I will create depth sum, not like this, depth sum a b, which will return a plus b, just like this. And now I will print reduce of sum function, which will be just like this. If I run this, one argument is same here. Over here I have to provide sum and L, just like this. Now sum L inside sum. You can see here 15 is given here, which is the addition of all those numbers. So if you add it here, then here, then here, then here. So that is how you will get your reduce function, that is how you reduce function is used. With that, we are done with our functions in our advanced Python. Now let's move ahead to practice it. Now let's see what first question says here. Write a program to open three files, 1.txt, 2.txt, and 3.txt. If any of these files are not present, message without exiting the program must be printed, prompting the same. Let's make it question1.py. And what we going to do here is we will write try open with. So I don't have files here, so we have to create files on yourself. Now I will do what I will do 1.txt in read mode as f print f dot read, just like this, and then do it with all the three files. We have to make three files here, so three try will be used here, just like this. So here I will write 2, here I will write 3, and then after that we have to write exception as e print. So I made things here good here. Now I will run this, and as you can see here I am getting error in every file because there is no file directory such as this available here. Now if I will create, suppose if I create 2.txt and I will write I am 2.txt file. Now if I will run our code here, so it will show me here error in first file, and then I am 2.txt, and then in third file also it is printing our error, and then thank you. That is how you can do this question. Let's move ahead to another question. So write a program to find third, fifth, and seventh element from the list using enumerate function. Easy question. We can do this by first we have to make question2.py, and then what we are going to do here is now let's just delete this 2.txt, and what we are going to do here is we'll create third, fourth, and seventh element. So let's create a list of suppose number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8 only. Then what I will use enumerate function for I, not I, in I, and then item. In enumerate, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give it list. Then if I is equals to 2, or I is equals to 4, or I is equals to 7. No, not 7. So we have to keep in index number because here it is starting from 1. So the fifth element will be sixth element. Here the seventh element here will be our index 6. So if this happens, print item. Now if I will run this, I will get 3, 5, and 7 as our here. Now let's move on to another question here. First I will create question3.py, just like this. So let's move on to another question. Write a list comprehension to print a list which contains the multiplication table of a user entered number. Let's do this. This is a very basic. We have done it 2-3 times as well in our old programs also. So suppose I want a table of 5. Now here what I will do is I will write table is equals to, and then list comprehension we have to use. So n into I for I in range 1 to 11. Print table, just like this. I will run this. Now I can get the table of 5 here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10, 50, just like this. Now the best way to do it here is you can write int input and then enter the number you want to print the table of, just like this, and you will, when you run this, you will have to give, suppose I have to give 6, then 7, then 9, or suppose 90 here. So it will create every table here just like this. So I have done it wrong here, and let's suppose again run this. Now to get table of 90, and again I will run this. I will create table of 8, then table of 7, just like this. So that is how you can create table here by using list comprehension. Let's move ahead to another question here. So what fourth question asks us is to write a program to display a divided by b, where a and b are integers. If b is equals to 0, display infinite by handling the zero division error. This can be also done pretty quickly as question before.py. Then we'll come here and we'll delete this, stop this, then we'll come here, and what I will do here is I will firstly write try a is equals to int input, enter a number, then b is equals to int input, uh, enter a number, just like this. Now what I will do here is I will try except uh, zero division, zero division error, except zero division error as v. So print v, just like this. Now if I will run this, enter a number, suppose I want to divide it, so 4, and suppose I'm dividing it with 0 only. So here nothing is given here. Let me see. Oh, I have not divided the number here. I have not written the operation here. So let's write the operation. So for that we need to give a divided by b. Let's suppose I will write again 4, then 0. Now it can show you division by 0. That is how we will do it here. Oh, I wanted to print also infinite here, so I will not print this here. I will rather print infinite, just like this. And when I will run it again, I will enter first number 4, then enter 0, then I will enter, and I will get infinite here. So let's move ahead to another question, which is question number 5. Store the multiplication tables generated in problem 3 in a file named tables.txt. So we have to now store whatever we did. We did our table here in tables.txt. So what we have to do here is let's create another file here. Question 5.py, and then in question 3 we'll go and we'll copy this. We'll come back here and then we will go here. So now here I will delete this print table and I will write open with, just like this, open with tables.txt in append mode to add them as ff.write. So what's the problem here? I have written it wrong here. It is not open with, it is with open. You have to keep in mind all these things which we have learned, what is there not. So f.write string table plus /n, which will be inside our this, or I can make it f string only. No, how will I make it? I will use this, and then I will use str table /n, and then here is like this. Here table of n is this, str table /n. I have to make it inside like this. And now if I will run this, as you can see, now if I want to enter table, suppose 45 table. So as you can see, tables.txt is created here and it is inside the list. 45, 90, 135, this is like this. Now if I will again run this, and for suppose I want a table for a bigger number, suppose 7, 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, just like this. So if I will enter this again in my same table, it will be created a table of this also. Now if I want table of suppose uh, table of here, when I will run this, so table of 56, enter. So in tables.txt it will be created table of 56. Now here this table of n is showing here because I have, maybe I am not, yes, I have not provided this curly brackets. Now if I will run this and if I will create 67 tables here, so we'll go here in table.txt, as you can see in place of n it is 67 and table is created. That is how you can create table in this. Let's move ahead to some other questions as well, which we have learned in the later half of our advanced Python. That I was telling that this part is part 2, so that we will do our question there. So we are doing it here from our question 2 because in question 1 there is virtual environment creation, so we will skip that and we'll do it from here. Write a program to input name, marks and phone number of a student and format is using the format function like below. So let's do this. I will create it as question 6 because 5 question we have already done. So now question 6. So now we will make it name is equals to input, enter your name, then name, then what name, then marks, and input, enter marks is like this, and then phone number will be, it will be like this, int input, uh, enter your phone number, just like this. Now I have to create it using a string. So if there is given, it is given, so I will copy this and then I will paste it here. Then I will provide it in, paste it in a string format, just like this, and I will paste string here also. Then what I will do here is I will remove this and this and then this, not this, uh, not this, I will remove this here, just like this. So now I will create his, here is just like this, and his marks are this, and his phone number is this, just like this, and I will make it in format, to dot format. So name here will be suppose Rishabh, his marks will be 100, and his phone number will be suppose any number. Could write any number just like this, or without providing this we can say, since we are taking input from our users, so name, marks and phone we will provide it here, then we will print our s just like this, and I will run this. So enter your name, so name will be up here, and marks will be suppose 100, and phone number will be suppose anything, just like this. And as you can see here, the name of the student is Rishabh, his marks is 100, and the phone number is just like this. That is how you can do this code as well. Now let's move ahead to another code. So it says a list contains a multiplication table of 7, write program to convert it into political string of same number. Just like this, 714 and just like this. So how we can do this? Let's create it as question7.py, and what will we do here is, let's write table is equals to, we have to print 7 tables, so 7 into I over I in range 1 to 11. So now what we'll do is s is equals to, what I will give /n and then join into tables not tables, table, and then print row s, just like this, and I will run this. So here sequence item label expected str. So here as you can see, it is asking me str because string does not take what anything like that. It only takes string. So we have to firstly provide it into string. So now it will print us just like this: 7, 14, 21, 28, 25, 42, 49, 56, 63, and 70. Just like this, the table is printed in vertical format. Now let's move on to another question. Write a program to filter a list of numbers which are divisible by 5. Very easy, we'll do this here again. Question 8.py, just like this. And what we will do here is we'll create a function diff division by 5, and provide an argument, and then if n is divided by 5 and the result is equals to 0, just like this. Let's make it more readable, just like this. And if I then I will return true or return false. Now let's create a list here. A is equals to suppose 1, 2, then 12, then 35, then 765, then 905, then 390, then 670, then 453, then 702, then 455. Just like this, I have created some numbers here in my list, and what I will do is, so I will let f is equals to, I will use list, and in list I will do what? I will filter out division, division by 5, and I will provide it, not this, I will provide it as, not as also, our list is A, so that is how, and then we will print F. So what will we get here is, look, 35, 78, 905, 390, 670, and 435 are the numbers which are divided by 5 here. So what we are getting here is that number which are divided by 5. So let's move into another question here. Now let's do our last question of our last lecture here, which is write a program to find the maximum number in a list using reduce function. And why I'm saying this is last lecture, because these are the question again from that virtual environment only, so we are not going to do them. CF, quick freeze, and the class module to explore. So we are not going to do that. We are going to only do our last question will be the fifth question. Write a program to find the maximum value of numbers in a list using reduce function. Let's do that. Here I will come here again, and I will do question 9.py. Here I will do what? I will copy the same list here again, Control C, Control V, and I will make it 2 digits only, 2 digits list. So 14, then it could be 16, then 13 here, could become 13, then suppose 95, then 7 only, then 3, and 12 is there. So that is how I have created a list here of 2 digits. Now what we are going to do here is create from to reduce. We have seen to reduce, to call reduce function here, we have to import it from func tools, from func tools, import reduce, just like that. And what we are going to do here is we will create a function greater and provide 2 arguments a and b. If a is greater than b, return true, or if not, return false, just like this. And then print now reduce and greater comma L, just like this. Now I will firstly put this above here, just like this, and I will make it somewhat lower. Now let's run this, and I will get indication as unexpected indent. So what is the problem here is, now let's run this. Not getting anything here. Let's see what's the problem here is. So the error here is I have list as A and I have given it L. Now it should not be a problem. It is showing me false here. Why? Because so I have also made some mistakes here. As you can see, this will not take uh, boolean here. Now let's run this, and as you can see here, the greatest number 95 is there. So what it is doing here is, it firstly will compare 1 and 2, then 2 will come to 2 with 12, then 12 will come to 12 with 3, 3 with 7, and 12 with 7, 12 with 95, 95 with 13, 13, 95 with 16, 95 with 14, 95 with 17, and 95 with 35. So all the numbers will be compared here, and then the largest number will get printed here, which is 95. So that was the practice sets, and our lecture 10 is over. So guys, with that our lecture 10 and our course is over. I am very happy that we have learned everything from the starting, from the scratch to the advanced level. We also understood new things which I have updated in Python after some versions. We made a little project or our game also, Snake Water Gun, which was a pretty good game, and we made it. Now I'll recommend you all to make a GitHub profile and use your coding knowledge which you have learned from here to there, and also make some projects by yourself also, and push those projects in the Git repositories as well. So congratulations on completing the Python programming course here. I hope this series was able to build your logics, and the series help you build a strong foundation in coding as well in Python. So keep practicing, build projects, and never stop learning. Thank you so much for watching.